I will be converting this e-bike with the front hub into rear hub. At the moment we'll concentrate on mechanical stuff, and on the next time we'll concentrate on all that electrics, how to connect it, all those connections, cables and stuff like that. But at the moment I will just disconnect everything, cut what needs to be cut, and then you can see how easy it is to do this. The first step is to remove the front wheel and replace it with normal standard wheel. As you can see, now I'm trying to undo all those changes which has been done during the original conversion, and now the cable which is connecting the front hub to the controller is being removed. Normally, when the bike is converted into e-bike, you will put the bike upside down, and that will simplify whole process. At the moment I am just disconnecting the front hub because we have to have normal wheel there. I cannot put that bike upside down because the display is already fitted, and that will be on the way. I didn't want to damage it. But as you can see, the front hub is out, and now I'm fitting the normal standard wheel. Just checking if everything is alright. It looks good. I will use special stand for the bike because, as I said, I cannot put it upside down, but you will be able to do this and you don't need any special equipment. The rear wheel needs to be just dropped out, and as you can see, it's extremely easy. What we will need from that wheel is the disc and the tire. There is our new set, is Charm 2000, is based on the 1500 watts rear hub motor. This one is version C with color display. About the display and the wiring we will talk another time. At the moment I'm trying to remove the plastic spacer which is fitted instead of the brake disc, and the reason why the spacer is there is to make sure that the bolts won't damage the hub. The bolt has to be long enough to accommodate the disc, and obviously the thread inside that aluminium side panel of the hub motor is shorter than the screws. That's why there is a plastic spacer there. But make sure that you will dispose that spacer and you won't be using it. If you will try to use this one as a spacer for your disk, you are looking for troubles. The brake disk can become extremely hot, and that plastic will just melt away. Now I'm just removing the old disk from the front hub, and we will fit that into our rear hub. I decided to do the time-lapse because the whole conversion process is taking about 3.5 hours. By cutting it that into 3 parts, and by doing some time-lapse, it might be a little bit less boring to watch. Now that spacer which I removed from the other wheel ends up on that front wheel, just to make sure that I will have all those bolts in place and I won't lose them. I'm just deflating the tire. Actually, there is internal tube there. The wheel has been deflated because I need the tire and the tube for the new motor. And as you can see, there are no special fancy tools. It's easy to remove it, and that can be done by hand. Tube is out and the tire is out. Now we don't need that front hub, and we will put the disc onto the rear hub. You have to pay attention to the arrow on the disc, because the direction of the rotation is very important. I am using thread compound. This particular one is Loctite, and that prevents the bolts from unscrewing. And you have to use a jointing compound or the thread compound whenever you can on the e-bikes. Because of vibrations, the bolts can become loosened, and if this particular bolt will be loose, it will damage the cable. As soon as the cable is damaged, you won't be able to run or to ride. The cable is easily replaceable. Well, easily, you have to dismantle the hub, but it's doable. And inside the hub we've got only hall sensors, and they can be replaced as well. But if you will be unlucky, that short, which can be done by the screw, can damage your controller as well. And to repair the controller is a little bit more expensive than to use the thread compound to keep the bolts inside and to prevent them to be undone. That rubber band is in the set as well, and the tube and the tire is in the set as well. Now we are more or less in the middle of today's part. It's about 10 minutes, and this today's part will be about 20 minutes long. As you can see, to put the tire onto the rim is not rocket science, and it can be done by hand without any special tools. The freewheel, I will fit a brand new freewheel, and this is how you will do it. Straightforward. Now you have to observe the distance between the edge of the freewheel and U-fork. You might need to add some spacers. The spacers are in place, and now it's time to fit the wheel into the frame. This bike, as most of them, the dropout will be slightly smaller than the hub, but this is not a problem. Most of the bikes will have dropout not wide enough to accommodate the hub, but you still can slightly bend away the fork, and the wheel will be fitted there. This is normal practice. There is nothing danger about it, as long as you've got normal aluminium or a steel frame. If you've got carbon frame, don't do this. And again, if the bike will be upside down, that process will be much easier, because gravity will help with the process. Now I have to hold the frame one hand and then try to push the wheel in place at the same time, which is not easy, but as you can see, it's doable. At the moment I will just remove the brake caliper, because it is on my way. The previous wheel was slightly narrower, and the caliper was in different place. The wheel now is in place, and it's time to put back the brake. This is hydraulic brake, and I will advise you, I strongly advise you to use the hydraulic brakes for anything which is more powerful than 1000 watt. when you will be reassembling the brake, the good way of doing that one is to engage the brake and then tighten the bolts. For Charm 2000, you don't have to have a torque arm, because the power of that hub is only up to 2000 watts. Nonetheless, personally, I will fit them, and this is how easy it is to fit. All parts required to fit the torque arm are in the box with the torque arm. Torque arm is additional part, is not in the Charm 2000 set. It's optional extra. Just make sure that those nuts are tightened correctly and periodically check if they are not loosened. If you will have them loose, the motor can spin and the cable can be damaged. And again, as soon as the cable is damaged, you are in trouble. The Jubilee clip keeps the torque arm in place. Converting e-bike to e-bike is slightly easier because, as you can see, I've got the battery box already in place, and the battery is physically inside that box. But in normal circumstances, you can have just soft back and you can put it into the frame triangle, and you can have your battery there. Next time we'll be concentrating on how to fit the throttle and brakes, and obviously the display. And the third part in the series, the last one, will be how to wire it up. I believe the third part we will be doing without the time-lapse, as there is more stuff which needs to be explained. How to connect it, which plug is responsible for what, and what we have to connect and what we can leave not connected. Now I'm just securing the cable into the frame, and this is very important because the distance between the cable and the brake disc is really very small, and you have to make sure that cable won't touch any movable part. That will be everything, almost everything for today. We will just check only if the controller will fit to the back under the seat, and the next time we'll be talking about the controls for that e-bike. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.